And then once season 4 started, for like the first half of it, everybody was there pretty much all of the time, and it was great. And then the holidays started, and everything came to a big slowdown. Let's see, infamous game, Scorched Earth is the name of this episode. No reason. I need to find a picture to put for a thumbnail. This picture is fine. I'm using Lasco's picture. Alright. So yeah, the Enterprise D is at full power with 7 shields. The Charvanek, which is the ship Dr. Tall is on at the moment, has 2 power, 4 shields, and 2 breaches. I think that's the only one that matters to you, Z. So let's see. Did it restart in this folder? It did. That's fine for now. Alright, so let's go. We're starting at the Enterprise D's bridge. Every time I think that it's a final round, it's not the final round. So I want to say these are would be his final orders, but I'm not really sure. But just assume any orders that he gives are going to be the final orders. And so what are his orders? So just as a reminder, Merc and Verena are both in engineering. Ensign Graham is there at the helm. Ensign Karunek is the science officer at ops. And Vijarn is the ensign at tactical. You still haven't heard anything from McDaniels, believe it or not. Let's see what else. Riker is sitting there. I think that's it for the Enterprise D. So what are his orders? Oh, and I'll go ahead and show where you guys are in the space combat situation. You're still all the way in this back corner in the command group, but it's up to you what you want to do next.
He goes up to the science officer and asks, "Where's McDaniels?"
Would you like me to run an internal scan, sir?
Yes. I haven't heard from him in a while.
Okay, let's see. NPCs. Karunik, bringing his character sheet up. Reason, science, so 15. Alright. I guess technically you could ask the computer, but PC ship's gonna roll. It's going to be sensors, but they are impacted, so the difficulty is going to be 1. So normally the difficulty is 0. The difficulty is actually 1 now because of the damaged shields, or the damaged sensors, sorry. But that's fine because he's already succeeded. So that gives you +1 momentum, so that puts you up to 6 momentum. Internal sensors are... Let me turn that music down a bit. Oh, it's because my volume is really low. Let me put that up a bit. It's down. That's a little bit better. Oh, I think the frickin' bridge ended too. I wanted it to continue. Anyway, how long is that thing? Probably not long. Looks like it's 10 minutes. Alright, so he says... Sir, internal scans are reading him not aboard the ship.
What the heck?
At this point, by the way, the other thing, Dr. Braxton, has he taken Brukata off the bridge? I believe so. Otherwise, they're tokens. Okay.
Yeah, he's already taken him off the bridge.
Okay. So yeah, he looks over to you and kind of shakes his head and looks up to you to, to see if you have any additional orders.
Is there any escape pods out and around our vicinity right now?
Not in our vicinity. There are a few that have just been ejected from the Horizon, the Defiant, and the Cardassian vessel, but none coming in our direction.
What's the ship next to us?
That is the Zarina. It is a carrier for fighters.
Is the Serena needing any assistance?
The Zarina, I was not expecting you to ask that, so I don't think I wrote down the stats, but let me open my other notebook, which has the stats, and I will get that for you. The Zarina has... The Zarina looks fine. The Zarina still has 30% of its power, 40% of its shields, and two minor breaches. The fighters that it has deployed is out guarding the dreadnought, the infamous dreadnought, as it is about to deliver the nanites. So the Zarina looks fine. However, the Pasteur, which is the hospital ship, has 3 breaches and is kind of adrift in space without any power, and is probably not going to last that long. It's got a couple hundred crew. A few of them have beamed over to the Zarina to escape, but it's probably going to explode.
He gives the general order that try and get basically any transporter pad we have on our ship, make it a transport everyone over.
Alright, make a command and presence check. It's going to be difficulty 0. Whatever successes you get will just add momentum, and however many successes that you get will you'll be able to add that momentum to a transporter roll that I'm going to do. So go ahead and do that. Alright, so you get 1 momentum to add to the transporter roll. Let me go ahead and roll. Let's see, that'd be, we'll say, well, it's got to be sensors. So instead of a difficulty 1, it is now a difficulty 2 because the sensors are impacted. It's going to be engineering. So that's the assist there. And let's see which NPC. Actually, you know what? Since Verena is in engineering, I will go ahead and roll for Verena. Durlock's PCs. Verena's, we'll just say, is nearby a transporter. Control and engineering. Difficulty, I believe, was 2. Computers. I don't think she has a focus, actually. I'll just use computers. Oh shit. That's not good. I've got to roll an extra dice anyway because I forgot the momentum goes to Verena's roll. So I'll roll 1. Hopefully it gets 1 so we can get rid of that. Okay, so yeah. I'm guessing you want to get rid of the complication?
Yes.
Alright, so you guys are down to 4
I don't
momentum.
I don't want to be adding more
Threat.
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, you managed to get everybody off. Just as you see, like, the little explosions begin to, as the EPS conduits and the coolant conduits begin bursting along the sides of the ship, kind of like a splitting hose. Now we're going to jump to the Charvanek. Dr. Tall is helping Dr. Crestru, correct? If I remember correctly.
That's true.
Alright. Let's see. He's not there at the moment. Just some random person. Who wants to go for this action Do you want Dr. Tall to take the action and roll to help Crestru heal? Or do you want Commander Tennyson to do something, or do you want Lieutenant Commander Taylor's character to do something? We're also saying that, well, actually, you know what? We'll say this. Both Taylor and Weber have returned to a kind of zoned out state. So they have basically been escorted to sickbay by a Romulan ensign or Ulan. So between you, Mac, and Z, would you rather try to tend to Weber and Taylor, or do you, Tennyson, do you have some orders that you want to give to your ship? What do y'all want to do?
He would want to try and get like the work on the engines, but if we got like wounded on our ship, then he would.
Yeah. So your engines are two power. I mean, you have 2 power, and let me check the breaches because you might actually. I don't remember if your breaches was in the engines or not, but yeah, you do have a breach to the engine, so it'll be a difficulty 2 to move instead of a 1. But it's up to you guys. You know, I mean, I could see a benefit to fixing the engines, but I could also see a benefit to making sure your player characters are in good condition. So it's up to you how you guys want to do it.
He's gonna get Dr. Tull to help with the healing. Tennyson's more focused on getting people into his ship.
Okay. So he's transporting people from escape pods as well. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, additionally, more than just Dr. Tall and the others. Okay. Okay. All right. So, yeah, Dr. Tall, you are in sickbay with Dr. Crestru, and like I said, Weber and Taylor have been brought in. They're just kind of zoned out. Not just their eyes are vacant, and they kind of just have like a slack-jawed expression. What do you want to do?
Alright, so I guess first let's start with a basic scan, let's say, to see if I can get something going for them. It can probably help ease their pain.
So for this, because I don't want you to waste any momentum or actions, I'm just going to tell you that the scan would be a difficulty 0, and you'd basically be able to tell the same thing that you were able to tell with Weber on the shuttle, is that basically the sheer proximity to the Kelvins has gotten through their mental barrier, so to speak, and the comm shields can only do so much, especially as as the closer you guys get to the Kelvin ship. So you're 99.99% sure that that's what this is.
Right. Okay. Then let us start helping them.
All right. So they get put down on a bio bed. Would you like Dr. Crestru to assist you, or do you want her to work on one of the others?
She can assist me. Sure.
All right.
That's
Which one do you want to start with, Taylor or Weber?
Start with Weber.
All right. So you've done your scan. It tells you what you kind of already know. You can see that you could probably concoct some kind of cocktail, some kind of antidote to kind of boost his mental, give him a bit of a boost to his mental state. You don't have to do any like surgery or anything like that. But even so, once you do give him this injection, the best thing for him would probably be to put him in some sort of stasis until you guys get away from the Kelvin ship, because just being in the proximity of it is really bad, and is what's causing the effect. So actually, that reminds me, go ahead and give me a reason and command roll at a difficulty of 2 to pass your sanity check.
Oh boy.
You have 4 momentum, by the way. And I have a lot of threat.
Yeah, you do. Let's see. Yeah, I don't really have a focus for this, unfortunately. No. All right, let's try it out.
Oh, you got it. Nice. So yeah, you can feel like it kind of feels, the room starts to feel stuffy and a bit more humid than you're used to, and you kind of have this like tingly feeling all over you. But then you like you shake your head, you just shake it off, and you get to work. So yeah, go ahead and do a control and medicine on Weber, and as you're doing that, Dr. Crestrew will assist, and her assistance will essentially be basically suggesting that they do have a few stasis chambers in the cargo bay, that it would probably be best to put them in there until we can get a more permanent solution. If I can find her character sheet.
I'm just looking up my talents, because I think some of them could work here. Healing hands, probably.
She did not assist mechanically, but it would still be a good idea to move them to the stasis pods.
Right. I will definitely use healing hands, because it reduces the difficulty by 1 of
Okay.
any control medicine.
All right, so the difficulty at this point is 0 now. So anything you get is just going to add momentum. Oh, nice. So that's 3 to, so you guys are up to 7 momentum, and you inject him, and Weber, who at the time his eyes were open and he had that kind of dazed look on his face, but then once you inject him, he just slowly drifts off to sleep. Yeah, we are going to now jump to the Excelsior, who Josh is not here, so I will just go ahead and say that it's going to fire at the whatchamacallit, the bad guy ship. Just gonna roll, see, Starship task roll, weapon. Actually, look at it. Looking at its, oh yeah, it's got enough shields and stuff, so just have it fire. That's the assist, which didn't do anything. And I don't have a tactical officer, but I will roll for his command, presence command. And I'm actually, where's my dice? I'm gonna roll off the screen because that's alright. So you do have 2 successes on the actual firing. Actually, you know what I could do? I could just change his character sheet for the Excelsior to an NPC one, which I am gonna do now. That way, I can just use the ship to fire. Yeah. Either way, he fired. Now I gotta do damage. He's gonna fire transphasic torpedoes, which pierces through 5 of the resistance. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Unfortunately, it has more than 11 resistance. But even if you reduce that by 5, it would still be more than 11. I think it's somewhere around 20. So it basically just hits the hull, and as soon as it does any damage, the hull starts to grow back. Both the metal and the bioorganic compound that makes up the hull. Alright, so now we're going to jump to the Enterprise, oh not the Enterprise, Riza and Runa and Timor Kellen. You guys are in a pod, an escape pod. Let's see where you are.
She's trying to head towards the Charvanek, remember?
Oh, I pulled you guys to the wrong one. All right. Yeah, you guys are heading here. All right. So yep. The Charvanek did how does the Charvanek grab them? Does it use a tractor beam? Does it transport them, or does it just oh, I guess those are the only two options: tractor beam or transport.
They're probably transporting. They're being transported over.
Did you do that last game or no?
No.
Okay. So that is gonna be a roll. I'm gonna need well, actually, because Tennyson and the Charvanek has already made a roll or an action, we'll just go back. We'll just stick with Riza and Runa as the tractor beam or as the transporters are kind of trying to get a lock on them. I need Riza to, while she's sobbing her eyes out, to make a fitness command difficulty 3 roll.
Runa's sobbing her eyes out.
Runa is too, yeah. Timor Kellen is sitting there like, what's going on? I don't want to be here. So yeah, fitness and command difficulty 3. And I don't think anything can assist here due to the nature of the roll.
Can I buy one dice?
Sure.
Oh. That's why I brought the extra dice. I knew fitness wasn't her strong suit.
Sure. Okay. What'd you say? Sorry, I had someone in here.
I got a 1.
Oh, yeah, that's not good. So you failed, but at least you didn't get a complication. So yeah, you're still in a lot of pain. You still have a migraine, and you feel like your whole body is shaking itself apart. Nothing happens though. All right. Is there anything Runa or Riza want to do on the escape pod before they are transported up?
Basically, Runa's making sure she talks to Riza, making sure she stays with them.
To comfort her or
Yeah.
Okay.
And he tells Timor that she's dying.
Roll a presence command then. I'm gonna say difficulty 2 because of the state Riza is in. And that's for Runa. Are you rolling? You there, Matt?
Yes, I am. Yeah, I'm gonna be rolling. Yeah. Oh.
Wow.
I'll get rid of
wow. Well, no, it's a 19. I didn't increase the complication range.
Sorry.
It's
So
fine.
yeah.
So you failed. So obviously Riza is not going to be comforted by just saying, just talking to her, because first of all, through all the crying and all the pain, she can probably barely even hear you.
Yeah.
So actually, you know what? I think Timor Kellen would probably assist. Let me see. Let me find him and see if he can offer some words of encouragement with a presence of 8. I don't think it's gonna be much, and command of 2. Actually, yeah. So he's gonna assist. Let's see. 0. Yeah, he didn't do much there. Gotta get the bridge again.
Yep.
All right. So jumping to the Kelvin ship. The Kelvin ship is going to swipe with his tentacles at basically both the Voyager and the Klingon ship because they're the closest. So that is, I think. Let me check the Kelvin scout ship's thing. Yeah. Okay. So security. I'm gonna say that's structure instead of weapons. And crew task code 2. All right. So yeah, that's 4. So he swipes at them, and it's going to be. Let's see. How much damage? I don't know. I don't remember how much damage it is. Yeah, it's just 3. Oh, that's the harpoons. We're gonna say the Kelvin ship swipes, but is also going to like harpoon the Klingon ship. Why is that so much? Oh, wait. It adds the security, I think. That's probably why. But the security is only 8. No, the security is only 4. I don't know why I said the 8. So 4 plus 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that should be 7. I don't know why it did all that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so 7. It does 7 damage. Is get right as for leave his post. Oh yeah, I bet. So 7 damage. I'm just gonna put that to the Klingon ship instead of. So basically, he swipes, bumps the Voyager. Voyager's got shields up, so it just glances off the shields, but then it impales the Klingon ship. So that's 7 damage to the Klingon, the Gowron. If I can find it. There it is. And you guys would see, well, whoever is at sensors or, oof, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's definitely a breach. I gotta roll another dice. And that is sensors. And it's gotta roll again because it's more than its shields. So it's got 1 to structure. So it's basically got it in the Klingon ship in its grasp and is pulling it towards it. Now on the Kelvin ship, what is Nico doing? I will say he overhears one of the Kelvin humanoids say to another. Well, that's I think the wrong one. But he says, "Activate Scorched Earth policy." So what is Nico doing?
He opens his broadcast to all the ships that they're going to activate the Scorched Earth policy. I don't know what that is. Brace for it.
Alright, and also you will notice that the singularity is coming towards you as it gets larger, encompassing the power room.
Basically, Nico and he orders a retreat back even further.
Alright. This guy is running towards you. Do you want to attack him?
Yes, I'll shoot him.
Alright, roll control security. And then roll damage if you hit. Oh wait, me look at that Klingon ship again, because it pierces 1 resistance, so I gotta see how much. I think it only has.
I'm getting rid of that complication.
Okay, it's fine. And PC ships, that's what it was. So it had 8 resistance. So never mind, it did not get its shields. And one of those breaches is removed. It's still got it harpooned, but it's not. Well, actually, no. It still damaged it, but it did not harpoon it. So I gotta go back to there. Okay, so you miss, and you can tell he kind of raises up a sharp whip as he's about to attack you, but we'll get to that next after we do let's see, the infamous dreadnought calamari killer. So on everyone's sensors, you guys can detect, or you guys can see that this ship, the dreadnought, comes in between the damaged Enterprise E and the Excelsior, which is still firing, and begins to deliver its modified Borg nanites. That's not gonna. I'm not even gonna roll for that. That's just something that it does. Once the nanites are delivered, Captain Tuvok on Voyager orders the helmsman to retreat, as it's been, what they set out to do has been accomplished, and Voyager begins heading out of the combat zone. Is there anything that Finn wants to do?
He goes and says to the captain, "Don't we still have people on the Kelvin ship?"
We don't. We didn't beam anybody there, but the Morrigan and the other military ships are going to have to beam them out. At the moment, we only have 1 shield, and we're using that to ensure that if that thing attacks us, hopefully that 10% of shields does something to stop that anti-proton beam. So we're kind of not in a good spot right now. That's why we're retreating.
Yes, okay, Captain, I'll work on the shields.
Alright, control engineering. I'll say control or daring engineering difficulty is going to be normally 2, but if you get more than 2, then you add each momentum that you would get, you add 1 more shield. Actually, let me see what your shields are. Wait, I think I'm at... Oh no, you have 3 shields. You have 1 power. That's what you have. So do you want to work on the power?
Yes.
The power? Okay.
Yes, totally
Okay.
that 1 power.
Okay, control engineering or daring, difficulty 2, and then for every additional you get, it will add to the power.
And how much momentum do we have?
Let me see. You got 6 momentum.
Can I use 2 of those to roll 2 dice?
You mean add 2 dice? Yeah.
Yeah, to add 2 dice.
Sure. 4. So you guys are to 4. Alright, let me roll for this ship as well. Alright, wow. So you got the 1, so it puts it to 2, and then you got 2, 3, so you have a total of 5 power at the moment. So I think the Voyager is good unless it starts firing crazy weapons like the other ships are doing, but I don't think it has any. I think it has, actually, where is it? What weapons does it have? It's got 2 tri-cobalt devices, which are like 25 damage, but can't really, fire those at the moment.
Finn goes, Captain, I restored more power to our ship. It was pretty low, like 10%.
Understood. All right, and we're going to now go back to the Enterprise D. On the Enterprise D, Lasco, you see sitting in this seat, Travor Zed, your father, looks at you and he starts to begin phasing in and out of existence. He begins to flicker, and then he says, "Something's coming, my son." And then in the middle of that sentence, he just vanishes.
What the heck? Lasco stands up and goes, what the heck?
Admiral Riker is looking at his little
console,
and he says, "I'm reading elevated neutrinos and Verteron particles off the flank of that Kelvin vessel. If they intersect with that quantum singularity that's growing, they could cause a quantum fissure."
Something's coming.
What is Lasco's orders?
Can you give me a scan of that area?
I'm assuming you're asking your science officer?
Yes.
Alright, let me grab his character sheet. Enterprise D. Alright, science, reason. Can you roll for the ship and assist? Oh, never mind. He does not need to roll for that assist with 2 16s. He says, "Sir, our scanners are being impacted by the Verterons and neutrinos. I can't get anything."
He goes, Merc, I need my sensors. What's taking so long?
And your chief engineer says, "Actually, let me look at your character sheet sensors to see where it's at, because I don't remember if they were impacted or." Oh yeah, they are. He says, "Yes, sir. I'm working on it, sir. Me and Ensign Brenna are doing the best we can, sir. Give us just 5 more minutes, sir. Merc out."
Oh, great. Because we are too far out, can you get the Charvanek to do a scan because they're closer in mid-range?
Who are you asking?
The operations officer to send a message over.
Alright. He hails the Charvanek, and Commander Tennyson is on the bridge, and Tennyson's communications officer looks over and says, "Sir, we're getting a message from the Enterprise D."
What is it?
They would like us to scan the particles, and as he says that, he puts it on the screen, and it's like this like this small pinhole, like a bright white pinhole that starts to appear not too far away from. I would say if you're looking at this screen, it's probably somewhere in this general vicinity, but similar to the cursor that it is expanding, the little pinhole of light also begins to expand like that, but it's doing it a lot slower than the cursor is pulsating. He says, "Sir, orders?"
Scan it.
All right. Let's see. Don't actually have. You know, I'm just gonna have to. I should have made everybody except for Enterprise D. I should have made them NPC. Oh, this one is an NPC ship. Good. That makes it easy. Oh, okay. I was like, what in the world? Okay. So you got 5 successes. So I'll give you 3 momentum. That puts you back up to 7. All right, he says, "Sir, it looks like it is a quantum anomaly that is growing."
If that hits the singularity, it's gonna get the medical officer up here now.
The medical officer?
Yeah.
Bridge to Dr. Tall and Dr. Crestrew. We require your assistance on the bridge.
We're kind of busy here. What can we do? What is there to assist in?
Well, whatever your emergency is, this is more of an emergency if you can't.
Oh, all right.
Oh, all right.
Fine.
Yeah.
Dahl looks at the Romulan. I guess we're needed elsewhere then.
Dr. Crestrew turns to her nurses and aides and nods to them, and they basically are like, yeah, we'll handle Mr. Taylor. And as you guys leave, and you make your way to the bridge. Now we're going to jump to the Excelsior. Speaking of, as you guys are heading to the bridge, everybody in the fleet, the entire fleet, hears Captain Bratham's, who is the fleet captain's orders, saying for everyone to retreat. Since the singularity device and the nanites have been delivered, and it is causing mass chaos over there. Technically, the mission has been completed and wants everyone to retreat. And you guys, whoever is on the bridge, sees the Excelsior basically do a 180 and make its way out of close range and into medium range. The Dreadnought begins to do the same thing. The Klingon ship is still kind of wobbling and disoriented from being hit by the structure. What? I don't know. Ask me later.
Okay. That was a general order, right? That was given to pretty much every...
Basically everyone to retreat.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I guess we keep going as the doctors, because it's not like we can retreat anywhere. It's our ship after all.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna jump to the Kelvin ship. Nico, the Kelvin humanoid, is going to lash out at you with its whip thingy. Where is it? I'm just looking at his talents to see if he can. Yeah, I did do that, but I'm not going to do that. Not this time. Alright, so he is going to attack. Where's his weapons? Does he not have any weapons? Oh, it's right here. Okay. And as he swings his whip, you can tell that although it has like a metallic casing, it's basically coming out of his hand like a tentacle, similar to the tentacles that are all around you, coming out of the power core and also coming out of the Kelvin ship itself.
Okay.
So I'm gonna spend a threat to get a dice. Ooh, 4. So because this is a melee attack, technically, if you want to try to struggle out of it, you can. Go ahead.
Yeah.
But you gotta get 5 successes. You have 7 momentum.
Oh, I'm planning to buy 3 dice
All right.
with momentum.
So that puts you down the 4.
So would that be classed as daring or fitness?
Yeah, you go ahead and use well, either one, whichever's more daring or fitness in this case, because he's trying to wrap it around your neck essentially and break your neck. So if you have a strong enough body, you could probably, resist it, or I wouldn't say you could break out of it, but you could also just have enough muscle mass to be able to use your momentum to break free of it. So daring or fitness is fine with me, or control, either one. I don't really mind.
I'm gonna use control.
Oh, is your control higher? Yeah, because I the way I see that happening though is like he swings his whip, and you instead of like jumping out of the way, you use like your hands to grab it and like twist it out of the way, so or remove it from your neck. But you've got to get a five successes to do that though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got your 5 successes. So you basically you see the whip coming. Tell me how you basically avoid getting this thing around your neck.
Basically, when he comes to whip him, he puts his arms up, then twists his body to move it out of the way. Whip.
Okay.
And he tries to book it out of the room.
All right. So now we're coming towards the final act. Is there anything that your player characters would like to do before the final act? And this goes for all of your player characters, Mac, and also Dr. Tall. If there's anything that you would like to do, this is the time to do it. And I'm gonna say that at this point, Dr. Tall has just got to the bridge with Dr. Crestru as well.
Basically, Tennyson would like to know what that neutrino thing is. He goes, "What is it?" It's going to impact with our singularity and cause a lot more damage than we expect.
You're asking Dr. Tall? Tall?
Yep.
Oh yeah. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
He goes, I really don't want it to mess with the singularity and cause more damage than we need it to.
Well, according to our calculations, it shouldn't. But, of course, we've never faced something like this before, so I suppose we could try.
Dr. Tall, roll Insight Science, difficulty 2. I'm looking at your focuses. I don't think any of them apply.
Oh yeah, sure.
But let's see. Yeah, neither do your talents really. I don't remember what Quick Study does, but what does
Quick Study is a so it when attempting a task that will involve an unfamiliar medical procedure.
Okay, so yeah, this is a medical procedure.
Okay.
But yeah, go ahead and roll that.
Is it unfamiliar?
Sorry, what?
Is it unfamiliar? Or
Oh yeah, absolutely.
okay. Yeah.
But it might be something a Trill scientist or doctor might have come across in the past. Or read about or studied about.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So this, I'm actually going to get the actual link in case, just so I don't have to recite everything. Let's see. Alright, so the closest thing that you can tell that this is going to be linked in the Gilded chat. It looks to be some sort of interdimensional quantum fissure that is kind of forcing itself open in our space-time continuum.
Right.
When this relatively small fissure is about 20 feet in diameter, 3 streaks of light emerge from this hole in space, like golden shooting stars. They are 3 entities. Your sensors are telling you that these are 3 entities flying at the Kelvin vessel. So,
Okay.
at that point, I have to look for the other character sheets that we had that I don't remember where they went. Maybe they're probably an NPC somewhere. Oh, there it is. So one of them looks like that. One of them looks like this. And the other one is just like a glowing, glistening humanoid that really doesn't have a shape or a face or anything like that. But essentially that is what your sensors and even your visual, your view screen sees.
Okay.
Crestru just stares like at the sensor readout and looks over and she says, "This is impossible."
No kidding. As I look at them, do I have? I assume I have some weapons of some kind with me.
Well, these things are heading straight for the Kelvin ship. They're not heading in your direction, but I'm assuming you have like a Type 2 phaser on you or something.
Right.
But yeah, they're
Okay.
basically flying directly at it.
Right. Then I will look around and pretty much alert everyone. Look at that thing, and I sort of panic.
As soon as you say that, the one that doesn't have like a face stops in mid space and turns and flies directly towards the Charvanek.
Oh, lovely.
He puts it up on the stream. What the heck?
As it's sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no. We have incoming as I sort of click on my comm badge and looking at them.
Get your phasers ready.
You see it bypasses the Excelsior and the Voyager completely, heading directly towards you. Is there anything that you want to do before it reaches you?
He's gonna say, "Can you get me a more detailed scan on it?"
As the operations or the sensors operator is attempting to do that, you hear the Captain or Colonel Nars, the Marine leader and CO of the Morrigan, says, "We've got power restored. We're moving in," and does one of those like swooping right in front of the Charvanek to kind of take the brunt of whatever's about to happen. But as the creature gets close enough to the Morrigan, it just disappears from your sensors and from your view screen.
What the heck?
Where is Riza right now? Where is Riza? Oh, Riza's supposed to be transported up. So,
Yep.
I'll go ahead and roll for you the Charvanek ship to do that. Should have done that really before the sensor scan, but oh well. Crew task roll 2, starship task roll 1. Did it roll both? Yeah. Oh wow, 4. So okay. So she is transported. Where do you want her transported? Sick bay, I'm assuming.
Yep.
All right. So she is in sick bay. Riza, Runa, and Timur Kellen have all three have been beamed in sick bay, and essentially what happens is she sees this entity, this glowing white entity appear in front of her as she's lying in the bed, in the bio bed, and he just casually strolls over towards her. Is Runa gonna do anything?
Basically, Runa's gonna stand between them. Like, you ain't interfering with this.
All right. I am gonna roll 2 dice. All right. I need you. Actually, no, you don't oppose this. Runa, as she finishes that sentence, finds herself on the other side of the sick bay behind a force field, along with all of the other nurses and aides and doctors in the sick bay, leaving Timor Kellen the only one there. He looks over to Runa. He just kind of looks scared, and he says, what do I do?
Can you get us out? We need to save the symbiont.
He says, you don't want me to stop this thing? And the creature is walking towards Riza. He's probably like 3 or 4 feet away from Riza at this point. But he goes to a console.
He goes
to a so you want him to? Do you want him to try to stop him, or do you want him to release you? You can only do one at a time.
You can only do one at a time. She wants him to release her.
Okay, so control is 9. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna say daring, which is 7 because he's doing it under duress. But his science, actually, it's gonna be engineering, which is 2. As you see the force field come down, however, you still cannot move from your location, and neither can Timor Kellen. He's just staring at you on the other side of the console like, I can't move. And that is when the entity reaches towards Riza.
Riza looks right at him and goes, I need to have the symbiont removed. Let them go.
As the creature, or as the entity, has his hand up, kind of hovering over Riza's face, she starts to feel a warmth spread all over her as her body begins to glow slightly, and all of her would-be wounds are healed. And he then lowers his hand, one hand onto her stomach where the symbiote is, and the other on her temple, and a bright golden light begins to radiate from both of them before both of them vanish into nothing. The glow around the biobed slowly fades away, revealing that neither one of them are there. What does Runa do?
Runa runs over and goes, no!
No!
That's not what Riza wanted. She starts crying, like, that's not what Riza wanted.
Timor Kellen tries to comfort Runa, but he looks over to her and says, there's nothing we can do. We need to figure out what's going on.
Let's get up to the bridge.
He nods, and you guys run from the bridge, and the doctors begin to go back to what they were doing with Mr. Taylor. Aboard the Kelvin scout ship, almost a third of its structure and personnel have been consumed by the artificial black hole. You guys on the outside can see it begin being sucked into the black hole and consumed. More than half of its computer network and neural pathways have been compromised by the modified Borg nanites and the viral pathogen. What is Nico doing?
He's asking for an emergency transport out for him and his crew. If they can.
Let's see. Who is nearby to do that? There's only 2 ships at this stage that can do that. Either the infamous Dreadnought, Calamari Killer, or the Gowron. The Gowron, although its hull was able to take the brunt of the last attack, it is still in way worse condition than the infamous Dreadnought. So I'm going to roll just a 50-50 to see which one of them can get them out. 1 through 10. 1 through 10 is the Gowron, and 11 through 20 is the Dreadnought. It's a 5. He ends up being transported to the Gowron. However, now the Gowron is going to be attacked. Let's see. This will probably be the final attack from the Kelvin ship of the game. It's gonna fire its what is it gonna fire? Yeah, it's gonna fire its anti-proton cannon. Crew task roll. Ship roll. Ooh, yeah, that's definitely a hit. And let's see how much damage
If he
it
knows
does.
it's gonna be, he's gonna just jump into a
Escape pod. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
Klingon ships don't have escape pods. You might be able to find a shuttle though. Alright.
Yeah, he's gonna just jump into
Alright.
the shuttle.
Okay. So you probably have about a dozen Marines and Romulan soldiers with you.
Yeah, they're all coming with me.
Alright. So you guys, I'm going to need a fitness security roll, difficulty 3, for you to hurry your butt to a shuttle as the anti-proton beam hits the bridge of the Klingon ship and begins tearing through it and slowly eviscerating the middle, coming towards the back of the ship. So roll your fitness and security, difficulty 3.
This is all of us, right?
No, this is just Nico.
No.
This is just Nico.
Nico.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I'm gonna use 1 momentum. Fitness security. Yep.
Yep. Ooh.
Oh crap.
Ooh. That's not good. Do you want to use your commendation?
Yes.
Alright. Let's see. Which one is it? Okay, so during a particular perilous situation, I would say that this is that. If a character has true stress or less, which if you're getting shot with an anti-proton cannon and your ship is exploding around you, you're probably going to be at that level. You could spend 1 determination. So if you're going to spend 1 determination, what directive or value do you want to call on?
I'll have a look. Directive or
Let me see if I can find. So the directives, prime directive, which doesn't apply here, destroy the Kelvins, which, you know, that's debatable. I would say go for one of Nico's values. That's probably makes more sense. You probably don't have that many values for a Marine involving escaping danger.
yeah.
You could probably do the first one to be the best Starfleet Marine.
Yeah.
Why do you have so many values? Why do you have so many values?
Sorry.
Yeah, I would say to be the best Starfleet Marine. I mean, you can't be the best Starfleet Marine Starfleet Marine if you're dead.
Yeah. I say I call upon to be the best Starfleet Marine. Yeah.
All right. Let me look again. All right, so you already have 2 successes. Do you have 2 momentum? That's the question. You have... How many momentum did you use for that? 1? So you're down to 3 momentum. Do you want to spend 2 of those?
Does Z mind?
Go for it.
You're gonna die.
Just the end.
Yeah, you're definitely...
Yeah,
you're
so-
definitely...
If
Alright.
it's the end, then I'll use it.
So you're down to 1 momentum. All right. What is your new serious complication or vice/flaw, or do you want to roll for it?
I want to roll for it.
If you roll for it, it's got to be something physical or mental. So it can't be like I have a disease. You know what I mean? It's got to be something direct, like something that the Kelvins could cause, or something that an injury would cause.
What is 50?
I don't know. It's resources. Homebrew. Did I not post it? Oh no, it's the first one. 50 is deceptive. Nope. Roll it again.
What is 92?
92 is passive aggressive. Nope. Roll it again. It can't be one. What is it?
30.
30.
What is 30?
30 is sociopathy. I will say that dealing with the Kelvins could definitely make somebody become a sociopath. So from this point
Yes.
forward, he is, and it's not like I told Mr. Mambo a year ago. It doesn't have to be like he is a sociopath and he must go, and he doesn't have any emotion. But it's got to be, it has to be along those lines of like he's developing sociopathic tendencies and stuff like that. So eventually he is going to become, a sociopath because of his interaction with the Kelvins. Now you need to roll fitness and command. Difficulty is 2. I am going to spend 2 threat to increase it difficulty of 4. Do you want to? You only have 1 momentum. Do you want to give me threat?
Yes.
How many threat do you want?
How many
threat do you want to give me?
Can I give you 3 threat?
Sure.
Can mental disciplines actually work in his favor?
What mental discipline? What are you talking about?
Basically he has a talent for controlling his thoughts.
Where?
Trained.
Where?
In his for Nico.
I'm looking at Nico. I see particle engineering, sensory replacement, neural interface, and physical enhancement.
Focuses?
Hold on. Mental discipline. So I mean, yeah. You can have a focus for that. That's fine. I thought you were talking about talent. That's why I was confused. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know what is it with Nico, but yeah.
So effectively, going through all of that, he has. Now, here's the good news. If you read Kelvin Note 2, it says determination. All player characters start with 3 determinations. Nico still has 2 determinations. If you want to re-roll that, you can spend a determination, and you can call upon another value. Just tell me what that value is going to be.
Okay,
And you know what? Since it's got to be it. So yeah, what value? So let's see. It can't be to be the best Starfleet Marine, to protect and serve. I mean, you can't protect and serve Starfleet if you're dead.
yeah.
You also can't explore the galaxy if you're dead.
Yeah,
So which one?
To explore the galaxy. He can't do that.
He's like, I'm going to get off this ship. I'm going to explore the galaxy. So go ahead and re-roll your fitness and command. And it allows you to re-roll all. So you can roll all 5 dice again. Ooh. You barely just made it. Yep. Like, so when I say he barely just made it, like, he can feel the heat of the ship exploding behind him as he jumps on the shuttle. And the shuttle takes a lot of damage as it gets away from the Galron, as it just explodes into nothing. Get rid of that too.
He barely just
Yeah,
made it off
he
the-
probably he is probably not only is he going to become a sociopath eventually, but he's probably going to have a lot of PTSD. He's probably going to have a lot of like, oh my god, survivor's guilt. Oh my god, I almost died. others did die, but I did. Like he's going to be mentally messed up for a while, and he's
Yeah.
probably got a lot of sunburn from all those explosions behind him. So he's even though he didn't
Yep.
technically take any stress, he really has taken stress.
Yep, mentally and physically.
All right, so that's it for Nico as he escapes on the shuttle. On the Enterprise D, and we'll get back to Charvanek in just a moment. Ensign Karunik announces the dimensional quantum fissure is emitting too much verterons and neutrinos, Captain. They are going to intersect with the singularity on the Kelvin ship and cause an even larger space-time vortex in about 10 seconds, sir.
Get everyone to evac the system now.
All right. Roll a commanded presence, difficulty 2, and I will assist with the ship because he's got to use the comms to transmit it. Communications and command. Well, the good news is the ship gave you 2, so all you have to do. Good job. Yeah. So difficulty was 2, so that puts you up to 4 momentum. So yeah, everyone, I'll look back on the battle map. Everyone begins hauling ass in this direction. This ship, for some reason, is going that way. Oh, and your sensors would also tell you that the Dominion ship is still without power and shields. So, actually, is it without shields? It's definitely without power. I know that.
He will go. He goes to. How big is the ship?
The Dominion ship?
Yeah.
It's like a scale 6 or 7. It's like a battleship. It's one of their bigger ones. The biggest one, I would say, in this universe, it's the second biggest because they have a dreadnought that's bigger. But this one is probably, yeah, it's like a Romulan warbird size. Maybe even bigger than that. Maybe even bigger than that.
Is there a way they can, the Enterprise D can transfer some power over to them?
I mean, the Enterprise D is far away. So let me take you back to where you guys are. You're all the way back here. The closest ship to the Dominion ship is the Romulan ship, which, if you want, we can go quickly to the Romulan ship, since technically we're out of combat anyway.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, because the Enterprise D's action, if it was still in combat, would have been to that communication anyway. So yeah, what is the Romulan ship going to do to assist the Dominion ship?
Basically, it's gonna give it some power if it has any spare.
So, in order for the Romulan ship to, well, let me see. First of all, if it has any spare. If it only has 1, then probably not. The Charvanek has 2 power, so you can give it 1 power. However, once you guys warp out of this area or whatever you end up doing, you will not have any. You will both be dead in space again. So, are you sure that's what you want to do?
It's probably the only option we have right now to get out of the system.
Roll a insight engineering, and either one of you can roll this.
Let's see. I'm not exactly an engineer.
Yeah, I don't know if Tennyson is either. I know he was security.
I can assist, but I don't think it's a good idea to roll main.
Well, if let's just say the difficulty, I'll say the difficulty is 1. Okay, there you go. So you have 5 momentum. So you think if you locked onto it with a tractor beam, and if you were going at a decent, if you were going at full impulse and you locked onto it with a tractor beam, you could probably pull it far enough away, and then you could probably do something then. But if you try to transfer power, first of all, that's gonna be like a difficulty 5 thing to do because there's so many things against you. Number 1, time. Number two, the ships are massive, so they take a lot of power. Number three, they're two different species ships, so way different technology. Number four, there's no real way to transmit power from one ship to another unless you're like docked with it. So like there's so much against you. So the tractor beam is probably the best idea.
He's gonna say, tractor beam it and full impulse out of the area.
As you're heading over to get the tractor beam, the communications officer looks over and says, "The Morrigan and the Excelsior and the Voyager are coming alongside us. If you would like, they're offering their assistance to tractor the Dominion ship, and that's up to you, Tennyson. If you want you to want them to do that."
Yeah, he would like the help.
All right. So roll presence and I'm gonna say engineering in this case because you have to be very specific about how you do stuff. Because if you just grab it with a tractor beam and run it, you could shear off your hull. So presence engineering difficulty is 2. I will assist with the ship, and then I will assist with the other ship. Because which other ship do you want to assist? Whoops. Yeah, no.
Basically, who's in good condition to be able to pull it?
Ooh. At this stage, the Excelsior. Yeah, the Excelsior's got like 2 power while everyone else is at 1. Well, actually, no, Voyager. But the Excelsior's a lot bigger. So that's up to you as the captain. Well, actually, it would be up to Bratham. He's the fleet captain. I'm going to say Bratham kind of overrules whoever, the Morrigan, sends the Morrigan on ahead with Voyager, and then comes in with the Excelsior. So let me roll, because the Romulan ship did not assist. So hopefully the other ship can assist. Engineering.
Basically, Tennyson's already got 3 right now.
Okay, what was the difficulty? 2?
Yep.
Alright, so you guys up to 7 momentum, and you guys are getting out of here. And that is when the moon-scaled organic sphere undulates and convulses as the black hole sucks more of it inside it, causing the Kelvin ship to crumble and deflate. A green-blue light emanates from within the Kelvin ship, nearly blinding everyone who is looking at it on the view screen or out of a window. Your view screen, your sensors, and your communications all go offline. Thankfully, you're not transferring power, you're using a tractor beam, so that does not go offline. You're able to pull the Dominion ship just fine. How do you react as this happens? The Kelvin ship just begins to, a light just starts emanating from within.
They must be really doing some damage inside.
And then
I look around and look at the Romulan friend doctor, and I say, we might want to, dissect the things that just popped out. Who knows what we'll find?
A shockwave emits from the Kelvin ship and begins just coming at you in all directions. When the greenish blue shockwave hits you, everyone is blinded momentarily, and when you look out the window, you only see blackness. You do not see stars.
What the heck? What is that sensors telling us?
Your sensors are offline as well as your communications.
He goes, damn it. Can we get sensors back online and communications?
When is that Tennyson that's asking?
Yep.
So your communications officer looks over and kind of shakes his head and he says, "According to our system, our ships are fine, sir. We're just not reading anything out there."
Okay. That's weird. Doctors?
Dr. Crestrew shakes her head and says, "Don't look at me. This is beyond my purview."
Well, I suppose it's beyond mine as well, but it doesn't hurt to scan it, I suppose. Since we are here,
Our,
might as well.
our sensors are not giving us anything, the sensors operator says.
Any medical scanners, maybe? Medical sensors?
Our internal scanners are working, but our external scanners are not doing anything. It's telling us there's nothing out there.
Oh. Interesting. So then it's more or less a reality inside the ship, not outside.
As far as the sensors are concerned, there's nothing out there, but everything as far internally is the same. So either the sensors are malfunctioning or all of existence has been removed.
He goes, can we see any other ships around us?
When you look out the window, you can see other ships, the ships that you're tractoring, but you cannot see anything else. No planets, no suns, no stars. You don't see the Kelvin ship. You don't see the infamous dreadnought that was several thousand kilometers away from you guys.
Okay. Can we shoot out a buoy?
Good idea.
The communications officer looks over and says, "Do you mean like a beacon or a probe?" A probe, because they do different things.
Probe.
They do different. Okay, so the sensors operator then sends out a probe, but you do not receive any sensor information from it. And then once it gets to a certain distance from your visual distance, the sensor you can't detect it. You don't see it, and your sensors obviously don't tell you that it's there.
Okay. He goes, can we actually send out a buoy to see if we can establish a link with the other ships?
Did you stop your ship, or are you still moving with the tractor beam and the Dominion ship?
Yeah, we're still
Okay.
moving.
So you send so buoy sensor or communication or warning buoys are typically stationary. So you could send one out and it will just it'll be behind you, and then it will tell you it might send you a signal or it might not. Or but basically you won't be able to get much information from it unless you guys stop and actually. But there's no way to tell the other ships to stop though, because they've all turned. They saw you impulse out of there at full impulse, and then they kind of turned around and did the same.
Basically, he's going to stop.
Okay.
Impulsing.
All right. So if you stop, then the Excelsior and the Dominion ship stops, but the Morrigan, Voyager, Zarina, and Enterprise D continue on. Speaking of which, on the Enterprise D's bridge, Lasco, you are unaware of anything going on outside of you because sensors are telling you there's nothing out there. However, you do still have internal communications, and someone at the rear of the ship says that the ships behind you have stopped.
Stop.
The helmsman stops the ship, and then you see a couple other ships pass you. There's really no way to let the others know, hey, we're stopping. And since sensors aren't working, you can't tell with your sensors if other people are stopping, unless someone visibly looks out the window.
Basically, he goes, he he goes to engineering and says, is there a way for us to...
Lasco
Release
physically
Lasco
goes
goes
to engineering?
No, he asks over communication.
Okay.
He goes, is there a way to be able to establish a link between the ships?
Ensign Verena looks over and says, I do not believe so, Captain. It is as if the nature of existence and quantum reality itself is breaking down. It is similar to it is a similar analogy to sound not being able to travel in the vacuum of space. There is simply nothing out there for our sensors or communications radio waves to lock onto. As far as we're concerned, there isn't even subspace out there.
Would we be in the black hole itself?
I do not believe so, Captain. I believe whatever happened when the Verteron particles and the neutrinos intersected with the black hole has caused that quantum fissure that we saw at the beginning when those entities emerged to become even larger, and I believe we have been sucked into some kind of other dimension. But I believe this dimension is one without subspace, and therefore communications through subspace is not possible.
Okay. Good to know. Is there a way we can transport, fly shuttles over?
We can. That would actually be the best way to do anything, considering you can just look out the window of the shuttle and see what's in front of you, but all piloting would have to be manual.
Yes. Hopefully the other ships actually pay attention to look out the window, knowing that full well that 4 of us have stopped at the present time. There's no way to tell them, hey, stop.
Right. And let me just ask you one more time. You said you're still on the bridge, right? You're just using internal communications?
Yep.
Okay. So as you're having this conversation with Verena, the ship begins to shake. And we're going to go back to the Romulan ship. The Charvenek begins to shake. The weapons officer looks over to you, Tennyson, says, the tractor beam is becoming unstable. We're unable to maintain a connection with the Dominion vessel. I recommend we disconnect.
Disconnect now.
Yes, sir. And he disconnects from the Dominion ship.
Has that stopped the shaking at the present time?
When you disconnect from the Romulan or the Dominion ship, the shaking is visibly it's less. Like you can tell that it is lessened. However, it is still continuing, and you begin to see small cracks appearing on the decks and the walls and the ceiling.
What the heck is going on? He goes,
I need everyone to make a fitness security check on the bridge of the Charvenek. As these black cracks begin to widen, and you can tell that these are not cracks leading into space, but into some other dimension.
Okay. And I don't think I have. Well, athletics, does that work actually?
Yes.
Try and sort of avoid them. Yeah.
Difficulty is 5, though. I would suggest everyone use determination.
I'm going to use a determination.
I'm actually going to roll for Crest.
Because, and he's going to use always doing his job.
Nice.
And he's going to use 3 momentum. How many momentum do we have?
I think it was 7.
Yeah, he's gonna use 3.
Okay.
Leaving the rest for
Yep,
Z there.
7 momentum. 7. All right, so you're down to 4 momentum.
Right. I will use 3.
Okay, so 1 momentum.
That's 1 moment. And I will also use adaptive to changing circumstances as a value, as a determination point, because these are changing circumstances.
Yep.
And they are
Gotcha.
fast, quick.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh.
Do you want?
6 in total.
All right. Do you want Crestru to use a momentum? She has.
Sure.
She has. Unfortunately, she does not have a determination.
Oh. Yes.
Oh, that didn't even help. So you see firsthand as you guys stable yourself against the chairs and the consoles, you see firsthand as the ground beneath her just splits open. And it's not like, in an earthquake or whatever in the movies where you see it split like that. It's more like it just it's more like a mouth. It just opens and then she falls into it screaming, reaching for Dr. Tall, and then as she enters into this crack in the ground and disappears into it, the ground seals itself again. The crack disappears. At least the extent, the large mouth crack is gone, but there's still cracks there. It's just not as big as it was. But you guys have managed to avoid all of the larger growing cracks, and you're at 0 momentum. All right. What do you want to do? Actually, before we do that, we go into the Enterprise D. Same thing. Fitness security. Do you want Riker? Well, actually, I'll roll for all the NPCs on the bridge. Well, I definitely got to roll for D-Man's character. And we'll get to Riker and the others in a minute. You have no momentum, but you have your determinations.
I'm gonna use my determination. I'm
gonna use his determination too. Ooh. So his determination would have given him a natural 2, but that wouldn't have mattered.
Basically, he's gonna use his determination. He's always be there for his crew.
That works. Because if he gets sucked into another dimension, he's not going to be there for his crew.
Yeah. And then I'm going to give you 3 threat.
All right.
Yes, he does definitely have that. So I'm keeping. Oh my gosh. 1 off. Seriously?
I mean, to be fair, he has to leave anyway.
Yeah.
So the first thing Sorry, go ahead.
Well, you got the it works out perfectly.
Yeah, but the first thing he sees is Graham is shouting, "Oh, what's going on?" And then he looks to be devoured by his own seat as a crack appears in the seat, and he's gone. And then Lasco, you begin to fade back into the bulkhead here, as a crack has opened up large enough to swallow you as well. And you are gone from this universe. And I'll worry about the NPCs later. Let's see who else. Oh yeah, we've still got to deal with you guys on the Charvenet because you refuse to go. As for the other player characters, I will roll for them at a later date when it makes sense, because it doesn't make sense since you guys are not even there. To witness it. Doesn't make sense for me to tell you what happened to them. But for Dr. Tal and Tennyson, who else is on the bridge? Is Runa? Oh yeah, Runa and Timur Kellen are on the bridge.
Yep, I have to roll for Runa.
All right, yep. I'll roll for Kellen. But in the meantime, what are your orders? What are you gonna do?
Find a way to fix all these damn holes and
I would say you.
I would say
I mean, I'm gonna go. Trying to figure out how to fix these cracks in the time that you have is pretty much impossible. So you'll have to come up with something else.
can we fix our try and help fix the
Oh God.
can we get our engines working properly?
That would be like trying to get the engine on a boat working when it's falling apart into the ocean. It won't really help you guys too much. You're still going to be falling apart. So that's Runa's role. Are you using a determination for her?
Nope.
All right. So here's the bad news. Number one, as the Bruna and Timor Kellen are standing next to each other, Timor Kellen and Runa start to fall roughly at the same time, but Timor Kellen is falling. Well, we'll say it like this: Timor Kellen is being sucked into a bulkhead from behind. However, let me ask you this: does Runa try to grab him as that's happening?
Yes.
When Runa does that, the portal that he's being sucked into begins to shake and quake and throb and pulse like it's like something is going wrong, and he is sucked all the way in except for his hand, and then the portal closes and Runa now has a severed hand of Timor Kellen's in her hand.
No.
Well, he got a
And then
complication.
well, he got a complication.
Yeah.
So now she begins to be sucked into the floor as she disappears into another dimension. So I'm writing. Let's see.
I'm writing.
Who was sucked into another reality? Dr. Crestrew, Ensign Graham, Ensign Runa, and most of Timor Kellen. All right.
The other bit is with Ensign Runa.
All right. Well, no one, not all of you are going to the same place. I do have to roll for Till. You left him in the ready room, right? And he's unconscious.
Oh crap.
Oh yeah.
Tennyson's gonna go. Oh crap.
Does she?
I better check on my father.
Yeah. So Tennyson runs over to the ready room door, just as. Well, actually, let me go ahead and roll first. It could be 2 crits. Who knows? Nope, 1 crit. As he's waking up, he looks over, and you can see in his eyes that his sanity is, because he's not so close to, and the Kelvin ship's been destroyed. He's not so close to it anymore. His sanity's restored. He says, "My son, what is happening? What is going on?" And then, he stands up, or he tries to stand up. He pushes himself to his feet, and he's got his hands on like the table or the desk, and the desk. It just opens up and he's leaning on it, so he like falls and he reaches for you, but then he disappears into it.
He runs over and goes, "No!"
Everyone around me
is disappearing.
All right. So I think that's all of the main player characters on the Charvanek. Or the main NPCs on the Charvanek. So I need you two to roll fitness, security, difficulty 5 again.
All right. We have no momentum left. Right?
No, but you can give me threat.
No, but you can give me threat.
I should be using Tennyson's.
Is that not Tennyson?
No. He's a little bit better than that.
Okay.
It's a 2.
So remember you guys started with 3 determination. So if you haven't used all 3, then you still have determination.
Yeah, but it will give me to 4, which is not enough.
That is true.
Yeah.
So you guys, as Tennyson leaves the ready room, the door shuts behind him, but then begins to open, and it grabs his back as he's trying to leave the ready room, and it sucks him back in to the ready room, but not really. It sucks him into a whole nother dimension, and Dr. Tall sees this before she too is consumed by a bulkhead or the floor. At this point, it doesn't really matter. And that is the end of your characters until it is necessary to bring them back again at some point in another incarnation. But before I do that, let me roll. Let's see. Actually, yeah, vocal. There's some Bear McCreary. Alright. Epilogue. Reinforcements from Starfleet, the infamous power, the Laeranak, and other minor species arrive just in time to see a tiny whirlpool of exotic energy close and cease to exist, leaving only the scattered remains of devastation and death for them to sift through. A 2-word subspace transmission is intercepted several weeks after the battle. According to the captain of the ship who discovered the message, it was directed towards the galactic barrier. It consisted of only 2 words: Scorched Earth. And that is the end of Season 4 of the infamous game. Now imagine how...
Nice upload.
Yeah, imagine how more epic that would be if everyone was here.
Yeah.
Of course, it would have also taken probably a long time. So I guess I'm kind of glad. But anyway, so tell me your thoughts and questions and concerns. I know, Mac, you're probably wondering where your characters are gone, but we'll get to that. We'll roll for that to see how many of them escaped, how many of them lost limbs, how many of them were sucked into another dimension with or without body parts, or all together, and where they went and all that good stuff. But yeah, anyone got any questions, concerns, comments, etc.?
I mean, I'm certainly looking forward to see them again at some point, to see what happened to them, the characters here. But yeah, really, questions.
Well, if no one has anything else, let's do reputation and milestones real quick. I've already opened Dr. Tall's, so go ahead and give Dr. Tall a spotlight and an arc. The spotlight because it's only you and Mac, so I feel that's only fair that you guys actually showed up. And then the arc because that's kind of the end of her arc for season 4. I don't know if you can actually edit these. I can't for some reason.
No.
So I would just put it. Yeah, just put it in your notes, and then whenever in between games and seasons and all that good stuff, you can go ahead and make all these edits and changes that you want to. Her sanity's at 7, so. Oof.
Yeah, getting close.
Let's see. So reputation's at 15, so I'm going to pull up the reputation thingy. If I can remember where it is. Homebrew and house rules, yep. Alright, active accordance with orders directives, yes. Challenge directive, no. Ooh, actually you did. Kind of. Whenever she was like, hey, we need you on the bridge, or he was like, we need you on the bridge, he was like, really? I'm kind of down here doing medical stuff. So yeah, put your reputation down to 13 for that. Even though technically you're right, and also technically had it been an actual medical emergency, you would have been well within your right to be like, no, because I'm the doctor and I'm gonna do doctory things because that's my job.
I decide. Yeah.
However, I guess let me ask you, Mac. Would Commander Tennyson, who is a Romulan Republic soldier and officer, consider what Dr. Tal said and did as kind of challenging him? Or is he more forgiving than that? It's and then we'll figure it out from there, I guess.